Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an Everyday Life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie and I'm all about creating mental health and awareness, and also giving you guys tips and tricks along the way of managing your mental health disorders, no matter what it may be, and also just, you know, words of encouragement for you guys, no matter what it may be. So it has been brought to my attention right now while I've been meditating and all this, that I've been watching a few video series over certain things that I'm learning right now, and hopefully that we can learn from one another, and that is basically at this point of time going to be in my Beauty from Ashes playlist. So bear with me on this, so hopefully we can actually, you know, learn from one another today, give or take, regardless what it may be. Also, just to bear in mind also that regardless of what, if you feel that this message is not for you, that's fine. It's all means, just pass it on and give it out to someone, or share it to someone that is for them. So this one's obviously clear as day. Is emotional baggage, can it affect our everyday personal relationships? It's been brought to my attention while I've been watching this video. However, basically this is in response to intimate relationships or something. I'll link the videos link down below, but in the meantime, let's begin this. So as I said before, I've been, you know, in my quiet time meditating, thinking on what to share with you all, regardless of it all. This has been brought to my attention and, you know, radar right now, that we all do have emotional baggage, me included here, while I've been, you know, doing this. Many people may have different views and opinions on this and understandings about the emotional baggage, what it entails and whatnot, but from what I've learned so far while I've been meditating quietly to myself, however, is that, you know, being in so many different relationships in the past, is this will vary from person to person of the answers and solutions that we give to each other based on our experiences. Yet I will say also, you know, we do struggle with this based on our feelings and emotions that were maybe in the way towards or to the person where we're trying to be with. We need to understand our feelings and emotions, that we also need to learn from them. They are there for a reason, some of the feelings and emotions that we feel. Sometimes we need to confront them, and also we need to be real. The question is, though, we need to ask ourselves, and including myself, is how do we deal with the emotional baggage and what the behaviour is when dealing with this emotional baggage when it comes into play. But in saying this to you all, however, it also might be that I have finally reached a place in my life where I've matured, learned and experienced more, to where I can now be thankful, blessed and grateful for the circumstances in my past, and also maybe in the present right now that I'm facing, as challenging it may have been at times, still is to this day, and allow them to be the situations that has helped me, guide me in making better choices as I made to move forward as best as I can for myself and no one else but me, as we all know that the choices starts with us and ends with us. Even if some of the choices that we make are the wrong choices in the very beginning, even though we may be also looking for the answers within those wrong choices, but they weren't there in the meantime, so we have to experience some of the down times when we go through it all. In return, I can say clearly, I can have that same awareness and point of view when it comes to someone I am dating. Sure, I'll still have some red flags waving out to me. Now and again, who doesn't, right? I'll do my best to avoid it in the relationships of these red flags, but sometimes the red flags are hidden until you're really deep into the relationship, regardless who it might be. Things that would not work for me in the long term, etc. But for the most part, there isn't a whole lot I'm unwilling to work through with someone if I feel like it is well worth the wait and well worth working with the relationship and that person I'm with. What I can say here truthfully, that we will never really have any idea what is going on for the other person when we get into that new relationship, because we are just starting out, and that there must have been some form of spark or connection that started this with this particular someone in our life. That has come in. In the beginning, things are usually at an all-time high like some form of ecstasy, figuratively speaking, and no one is really thinking about anything else other than love, lust, and that new expression that obviously never been discovered before. But as relationships do grow, progress forward, and with the intimacy we feel begins to deepen and things do start to get real, issues that may not have been dealt with may or eventually will tend to surface. We can either avoid what's going on and have it come out later somehow, like we're about to all together as the siren starts to ring out and show let us, and again, figuratively speaking, or we can deal with it, work through it, and see what kind of positivity of that outcome will bring. Most of us will tend to think or say to ourselves, regardless what it may be, or may already know of the issues, that are there and can point them out, name them, and even pinpoint them when and why they were triggered in the first place. I think today, though, however, a lot of people that go into relationships looking to the other person to fix their feelings or issues. Classic example I've heard in many relationships is between a man and a woman. A woman especially might feel insecure about her body. She may ask the man she's with to remind her over and over again that she's beautiful and skinny. Though even after he tells her over and over, she still does not fully believe him. In this situation, the woman is looking for the man for validation about something that can ultimately actually come from her. Sure feels good to hear nice things about our bodies or other parts, but the issues really begin when partners look to each other to try and fix things. A lot of the time, people in relationships will eventually come to a place where they don't actually want to do the personal work on themselves anymore. Instead, they want to focus on the relationship. But this gets all so fast and that it can lead to all sorts of resentments and unhealthy dynamics that can be otherwise avoided. In my own personal opinion, the key to handling emotional baggage is to be aware of it, know it, own it, and handle it. I do think that open communication is helpful and necessary in all relationships, especially romantic ones. But I also don't agree that sharing every tiny detail of feelings is necessary either. However, then again, it's best to be real and honest about it all, as well as with that transparency of communication through it all. I feel also in this day and age of our relationship, regardless sometimes that we hide our true feelings inside, thinking that we're going to be the problem and whatever else that lies within. Personally, I know what my baggage is in a new relationship. Obviously, it will eventually come up, but my first rule of thumb is to see how much I can handle on my own. Ask myself 3 questions. 1, is this a new or older issue that was resolved or not? 2, what is actually happening in that moment? 3, what can I do to take care of myself? If I can get to the bottom of what's really going on, example, a jealousy issue, trust issue, etc., then when I do to my partner, I'm not a jumbled mess of emotions, even though many people may see that. My preference is always to handle what I can on my own, take care of myself, and then come forward to share it with my partner. There's a time and place to be emotional, and as a woman, I can still be emotional, but handling myself with integrity is important also in any given situation. On the other side of that, though, it's my hope that my partner has similar views, opinions, and is aware of his own issues just as much as I'm aware of mine. Not everyone works things out the same way, however, and there's always room for compromise and understanding and improvement, but it's much easier to have an honest, communicative and productive communication. The thing is this, though, the baggage that we all think that drives the relationship apart can actually be the everlasting force to hold them together. There isn't really anything that's more emotionally intimate than sharing from my heart and saying what I am feeling without asking someone to fix or change anything. It's not my partner's job to make me feel better. It's myself, or less insecure, or less critical of myself, or less jealous. It's myself in the way of how I choose to control these feelings and emotions. That's how I'm feeling. That is all down to me. I'm the one that can only do this for myself and be in control of it. So can you. We are all human beings and need the time and space to experience our own feelings and emotions. And when we feel the time is right, we can share them in a way that works for us. We all do have a past, however. We all do have a skeleton in our own closet somewhere that is hidden. We've all been hurt in one way or another, and we've all been scared on some level. That's just human nature. But we all have a choice as to how we let them impact our decisions, our lives, when it comes to moving forward with someone else. Sure, we could drag our baggage around with us, or we could realize that it's in the past that can stay there, and we are feel free to move on, taking only what we can and what we really need and want. At the very least, it might result in a very different relationship. In all honesty, why not take the risk? Old relationships ended for a reason, and you never know how special or amazing the next one will be if we were to, go through it all. Well, this quickly ends basically the emotional baggage. Does it affect our relationship? Give me the like for thumbs up for support. Comment below on this down thing, or feel free to comment just to share your life experiences. I'm open for a discussion. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to also put the notification bell on, because as I said, YouTube, obviously settings are getting changed over and over again. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Aspie signing out.